I just scraped my burn off. Like the thing. Fuck. How the frick did that even happen? It's just open wound.
No, I can't fuck with no broke ass nigga who ain't got dope.
But hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, being here, being you, and for being a part of my dream and my journey. And thank you for watching this video. As you guys could tell, we're gonna talk about Temptation Island and Forever. Both of these shows are on Netflix, and so if you have a Netflix subscription, you can go watch it. And both of the shows only have one season. Temptation Island had like 10 episodes and Forever had like 8 episodes, but like you'll finish it quick. So yeah, both of the shows I would give a rating of like 10 out of 10. Honestly, if there was another season of both, I definitely would watch it. Let's get into Temptation Island first. First of all, I feel like all the couples, I feel like anybody who goes on that show, you low-key know the answer, but you want to like double check the answer or double down on your answer, right? Because for example, so the couple, there was 2 couples that ended up breaking up and going their separate ways. There was, and 2 couples that ended up staying together. So what was their names? Alexa and Lino, they ended up staying together, which was so beautiful to see. They ended up getting engaged, they ended up getting married. But even them versus like Grant and the other girl, I forgot their names, damn. But even like a couple like that versus Grant and the other dude and their girlfriends, it's like both of them knew that like they were either gonna stay together or not. You know, like Lino and Alexa knew that they didn't want to marry each other. It's just that like being in their lives or whatever, it was kind of like, I don't know, do I want to? They had to question it. And then when they got on the island and were actually with other people, it was like, oh yeah, actually do want to be with you, you know, things like that. It's like, you know your answer. Even the other couple, what was their name? Fuck, how did I just forget their names like that? Oh my gosh. But the other couple, the dude that had the threesome, the black couple, even them, it was like them, it was looking a little up in the air, 50-50, because it was like you had, okay, so first and foremost, you was on your girl about having threesomes. You wanted her to have threesomes. Then you got on the island and you was like, oh, you know, like I'm gonna prove to you like I can be friends with women, I'm not gonna cheat, I'm not gonna do this. Then you had a threesome. Then you were sad and felt remorseful because you realized it wasn't everything that you thought or everything that you needed. And then she still took you back. Like, you don't deserve that girl. He really did not deserve that girl. I think he was remorseful. I feel like it was one of those things where like he went out and did something that he thought he wanted to do, or something that he thought he wanted his girlfriend to do, and he wanted, maybe he low-key wanted to prove it to her, like, see, I do need threesomes, like, if you're not gonna do that, then we don't need to be together, da da da. But then he realized like, oh shit, what the fuck am I doing? And also I feel like he did grow emotionally a little bit, in my opinion, because he ended up realizing, or he ended up talking, I guess, more about his trauma and his abuse and everything like that, and how he was abused for most of his life, and then he was gonna get therapy and everything like that. So and they are still together to this day. I looked on their Instagram, they're still together. And even the 2 white girls that met Yamin and Danny on the island, they're still together too. Those 2 couples are still together. So all the couples are still together, except I didn't check the boys because I really don't give a fuck. Because Grant, how you're a narcissist. You got on that island, you was the first one to kiss somebody, the first one to touch upon somebody, the first one to find somebody. And then it's crazy how him and the other dude both found these young ass girls. These girls was like 22, one was 25, and the other one was like 22, 23. You found these young ass girls that you, let me calm down, that you found these young ass girls And it makes so much sense, especially with Grant, because you found this young ass girl. Somehow, some way, y'all fell for each other, but he didn't leave the island with her, but they fell for each other. Y'all, this shit hurts. Fuck. But you know, y'all fell for each other, whatever, but low-key, you was just on there for a good time, and you just wanted to see how far you was gonna take it, because you just wanted to stroke your ego. The girl stroked your ego. Your ex was stroking your ego for a while, and you probably thought she was gonna continue stroking your ego on the island whole time she was watching you on that film. But I am so proud of those white girls. They found their voice, they found their power, they found that they are worthy of more. And even the other dude that was with Kay, it's the same thing. Like, you was all up on this girl, sleeping with her, cuddling with her, y'all hugging all up on each other. And then even Grant, he was the first one to have sex with somebody too. Like, and then you turn around, you say you want to marry this girl, and then when you see her with somebody literally down the line, it was literally like episode 7, she finally just kind of let herself just explore Danny. You got a problem with that, and you was like fake crying and all this stuff. Like, are you an actor? Because if you're an actor, you should probably come out and say that, because it's just looking like you're a narcissist. It's just all about you and what you want. So yeah, that's really just my thoughts. I feel like they were stupid on there, but at the same time, I feel like the women probably just needed to see that, like, for real on the whole island, that is literally the purpose for that, which made them see like, oh, okay, you actually really don't give a fuck. So at the end of the day, I feel like everybody learned something about themselves, especially the women. And it was like so funny to watch, because like the men was just over there doing what they wanted to do. Even when they got into that little hut, they went into that hut multiple times, until finally one of the women just went in there, and then all of a sudden the man was all stressed out and stuff. Like, oh my god, men can be so dumb. Boys go to Jupiter for real. So yeah, it was like they could do stuff, but if the women was to do all that stuff, bye, get the fuck. Especially the black couple, because it's like, oh, his name was Brian, or Brian, some shit like that. Even him, like, if your girlfriend was over there on this side doing what you're doing, like, you're taking advantage of her and her kindness. But hey, they're still together, so like I said, it looks like he learned or something like that. But even that was like even so sweet on their side. Like, a lot of them really was there for real. Like, yeah, they had those men and they were making connections with those men, but they were also too being friendships. And I loved how like the men were just there for them, you know, even when they came back like, I'm single, and they were crying and everything, the men was just literally just there, hugging them, wanting them to have a good time, wanting them to just, you know, let's drink and let's just have fun. I absolutely love that. Versus the women on the other side was like, I could take your man. Like, they really was worried about taking somebody man, except for the girls with Breon. They actually was asking him questions like, how are you a Christian and you want a Christian woman, but you like threesomes? And how are you on this island having threesomes? You're cheating. You're a cheater. Like, so yeah, but majority of those girls, they just wanted to take somebody man and prove that they could do that. Everybody out here just living life with their ego at this point. So yeah, but it honestly, it just shows not love, but like all of us just want to be loved, you know. And especially when one of the women was crying because she was like, everybody just leaves and stuff like that. It was like, wow, like, you know, it's like a lot was just coming up for everybody. And to watch it, it was just nice to watch it, honestly. Like, for them to be so honest and vulnerable on this show, you know, it's just beautiful to see. Everything happens for a reason. So yeah, I think another season is coming, so we shall see. Netflix reality shows definitely be a hit or miss a lot of times, because those the other, like, even Love is Blind and shit like that, like, Oh my god, this should be interesting for like the first couple episodes, and then it's like, you lost me. I don't even give a fuck no more. Y'all do what y'all want to do. So yeah, let's get into Forever. I absolutely loved Forever. Absolutely loved it. So Forever is a show, I believe is based on the books. It's a show about two black teens growing up in LA, and then they went to elementary school together, and they were kind of friends, and then they end up meeting up again at a party and end up dating. It was so beautiful, and it was so relatable. Like, it literally showed teenage life in such a beautiful raw spotlight. Like, it wasn't to the extremes, you know, like Euphoria to me is like to the extremes of teen life. Like, it was tipping on college and adult life, in my opinion. But this was actually so wholesome as teenagers, you know. They're figuring out what they want to do with their life. They're figuring out what college they want to go to. And even within dating each other, they were like going back and forth, blocking each other, being nervous to text each other, like being on FaceTime, asking their parents for rides, getting new cars, you know, just figuring all that out, going on trips and everything like that. It was so beautiful. I absolutely loved that show. I love the representation of black culture, of black West Coast culture. That was beautiful as well. It's just seeing, because they had a lot of LA things in there, and a lot of LA themes and places, I believe, like the stadium, and something else was in there, I forgot, but I did peep it. I was like, oh, okay. So and I also loved how it showed that parents are not perfect. Both sides, you know, Keisha, she did have a 16, but she ended up not telling her mom. I loved how it represented, like, I love the family dynamics, how they were represented, because it really is so relatable. Like, she wanted to protect her mom. She just wanted to make her mom proud, so she didn't want to tell her that. She wanted to do it on her own and be independent, you know. And that's really how like teenagers are, and that's how we are as teenagers. Like, we think we know everything. We just want to take on the world. We put it all on our shoulders. We want a chance to be, you know, grown and show like we can do it. So that was beautiful. Or, you know, like that family dynamic shown, the representation was beautiful. Even when her mom did find out about the sex tape, and her mom was upset at first, but then, as always, you know, parents, they be upset, but they will always love you, and they will always, you know, they're your parents, like. So it's like, even though she was upset, she still came back and talked to her, went to therapy even, and that was just, I love that. Y'all know how I am. I'm a big mental health advocate, so like, I love that her mom went to therapy to help and work on things, because I feel like sometimes parents, and I'm not a parent, let's just put that out there, but I feel like, by what I observed, I feel like sometimes parents can be parents so much that they forget they're human as well, and they forget that like their kids are human and are gonna make mistakes, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a parent, why wouldn't you want to hold you and your family to the highest of standards? But sometimes you can be so like adamant about that, forgetting like you're also a peer to your kid. You're also your kid's like confidant. Your kids want to talk to you, things like that. It's not always just about like perfection, you know. So I loved that, and I loved how even Justin, his mom, I loved how they showed how like how worried she was. Honestly, raising black men, like that's just life. And that's a lot of our parents' lives, you know. It was like she wanted to know where he was going, and he was just like, oh, just let up off of me. But I loved how it also showed his dad being there, and his dad also helping. That was beautiful. Dads are so important. His dad was there to kind of be in the middle, I guess, and be like, you know, let the boy go out, let the boy do this. But he also talked to his son and was like, your mom just wants you safe, your mom just wants you to communicate, like just work on it, keep talking, da da da, and she, you know, everything will fall into place. So it was just really beautiful, in my opinion, how they showed that dynamic between the parents, that married parents, then the mom being a mom. And it was even beautiful how she was like, she went to therapy too, because her parenting style, I think she kind of suffocated her sons or her kids. And then even with him going to college, you know, she wanted him to go to her college and everything, and he was just like, I don't know. Like, he wanted to figure himself out, especially with a kid having ADHD. You know, he wanted to do a lot of things, but he also wanted to make his parents proud. So he was playing basketball, and he was applying to those schools and doing his essays and everything. And his mom, you know, once again, like, parents really just be wanting, you know, they want us to plan, they want us to have goals, they want us to like reach for things and know what we're gonna do. And Justin was just like, I don't know, but I know I love music. And I love that, because that's so real. You know, you have teenagers like Keisha who know what they want to do, know they want to go to Howard, know they want to keep doing track, know they want to major. But you have some kids like Justin who don't fucking know. You know, it happens. They're only 17, 18. Some don't know and some do know. And I loved how it showed both of them. I loved how it showed in their relationship that they opened up other sides of each other. That was beautiful in my opinion. I feel like that's what relationships and friendships are all about. You know, people bring out different sides of you that you probably didn't even know was there, you were capable of. And that was just so beautiful. I think it just showed how love really is not above, but above everything. Like, with love you can do anything. With love things don't seem as scary. And I loved kind of that theme. Even Keisha and her dad, you know, she's like, that's just my dad, and he travels and everything, and he had his dreams kind of shot down, so from his father and everything like that. So I hope another season is coming out of that. I love that show. I have no complaints about that show at all. It was beautiful. Even her and her cousins, like, you know, they was doing hair, and even they was rooting for her, calling her Urkel. Like, I loved how it showed family and love and relationships and teen. It was so beautiful. It was like you could see everybody's point of view. Like, yeah, the show was about teens falling in love and coming back together, but you could see their point of view, you could see the parents' point of view, you could see the principal's point of view, the aunt's point of view. Like, you could see everybody's point of view, because it's just so real life. Like, that's really what be happening. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and review and talk about it. What did you guys think of those shows if you watched it? Is there anything that you guys peeped? As always, things go deep. You know what I'm saying? And I believe everybody on Temptation Island needs therapy, but I believe a lot of us need therapy. All of us can definitely use therapy. You know, they're out there, or they were out there trying to figure out what they wanted to do. And sometimes even in relationships and stuff, you just realize you're not compatible, or you just realize you don't have the same goals anymore. Like, even the dude, he was like, I'm gonna get back into it, but even he was like, you don't support me, or the way that she does support him is not how he wants, because he just wants to live his life, and he doesn't want to like be the man that she wants him to be. So yeah, you know, I feel like those shows just show us, like, both of the shows show us love, but also like getting to know yourself for real, or learning about yourself for real. Like, once again, love helps us do that. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about those shows. Oh, also give me recommendations for other shows to watch. I'm watching Watson right now on CBS and Paramount Plus. I love that show already. I am hooked. So yeah, let me know any other show recommendations or any shows that you guys want me to review or even react to. I would love to do that, and I'm here and open to your suggestions. So yeah, I love you guys. Continue enjoying your May, continue enjoying the summer, continue enjoying yourself, and making or doing things that make you happy, and continuing to have that happiness and love for yourself. I love you guys. Bye.